All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of the Toxic Fandom podcast. I am Magic Mav, and I'm here with my two buds, Sebi and Mike. What's going on, boys?
What's up?
I'm going to keep going with it, Magic Mav.
Yes, mio.
Adios mio. Speaking of adios mio, these freaking Yankees are going to blow it. But not like I really care, but they're going to blow it. They were up 5-1, and then they Billy Bucknered it.
They're not coming back from 3-0 down in the World Series.
Well, no, but they were up 5-1 in this game. They could have made it. They could have made it a little bit more competitive.
Mike, did you see the guy yesterday? The freaking Yankee buffoon fan who stripped the ball out of Mookie Betts.
No, I haven't been really watching this series.
Dude,
God,
he assaulted him. It was bad.
It was insane. Yeah, but the New York Yankees are like praising this guy, and like he's like a celebrity in the Bronx right now. He's on.
You know that
he was on Barstool. They interviewed him on ESPN. Apparently, Gronk knows him. They went to college together, and
really?
he played on the hockey team. And Gronk was saying, Gronk was basically praising him on live television today. And his co-host was like, "You cannot be praising him. This is wrong what he did." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's wrong what he did, but it's hilarious, and that's him." Blah blah. He was an animal.
Mike, Mookie Betts catches the ball clean, right? Goes into the stands. This guy, two hands, pries Mookie Betts' glove open with two hands, reaches in with his bare hand and rips the ball out. He almost got it. It came flying out of his glove.
His other friend grabbed Mookie's other arm, so Mookie's like
trying to take. He was in the Bronx trying to take his watch.
It was insane. I could not believe.
Where's your mugger money? You don't get your mugger money? That's your own problem.
Oh yeah, and then one other weird thing in that whole incident was there was another fan, like two people over. He starts getting involved, or like putting his hands over. He's wearing a sliding mitt. You know, like the players now.
I hate
the guy wearing a sliding mitt in the stands. It was so bizarre. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? This is just.
I kind of hate how much protective gear baseball players wear now.
Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah,
it's so much.
Football helmets. It's crazy.
Like the sliding gloves is ridiculous.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And like I see the kids wear them because I watch my kids play ball. And it's like they don't even slide head first. Like the only reason you need that is if you slide head first. And these kids don't even do that. And they're taking all this time putting this stupid mitt on their hand. So dumb.
People slid head first for 100 years.
Mike, look at this. He's two-hand prying this dude's glove open.
Give me that, you. Give me it.
Give me those ribs. Oh, it's so funny.
And you can see the guy right on the. We see where it says Fox. That's the beginning of the sliding mitt he's wearing.
Oh, this green thing here?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like making fun of people with the mitt, with the sliding mitt. I gotta say, I'm impressed with Mookie Betts' hand strength. This guy had to use two hands to pry this dude's hand open. I'm impressed. Oh my god, it was funny.
Yeah, well, the Yankees fans are not renowned for their physical stature and strength.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Well,
look
he's
like
kind of holding him. He was like hanging there for like a half a second. I was worried he was gonna like hyperextend
his elbow or something.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
That's funny. We got a comment here.
The guy in the pinstripe jersey right next to him is about to grab Mookie's other arm.
Yeah, he sees his gold. Sees his gold wrist. Is a wrist
bracelet.
That's the word.
The wrist thing. Gunner, what's up, BX Gunner? He says, "Give me that ball. Give me that ball, you."
Oh, that's I think funny. BX is a Yankee fan.
Oh, really?
Oh. It's good to know that the Yankee fans are acting responsibly and not ridiculously.
Oh yeah, it's better than.
And you know, he told us, "Yo, I tried to mug him. I tried to mug him."
He got
almost got away with it
out of the stadium, and so he went to Billy's right across the street, and everybody was buying this dude drinks all night. He's like I said, he's a celebrity now, and the Yankees didn't ban him. He's back in the stadium tonight. It's
same
so crazy.
seat.
Maybe
What are you talking about? They made him first base coach. He pickpockets guys as they come around now.
He's the bad boy.
Oh, Gunner says $10 says their names are Vinny and Sal. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Or Joey or Tony. One of those. That's funny. Anyway, let me get off the screen there. So subscribe to us on YouTube and Instagram. Follow us. Hit that bell. Listen to the show. Tell a friend. That's the big thing about the podcast. Tell a friend that you like us. Tell a friend that we're funny and we're consistent every Wednesday. We got 3 weeks in a row. All three of us are up. With that fourth wheel is always a little inconsistent. We don't know if it's going to be a little angry Italian man or a porcelain doll. Either way, we get it working out. But subscribe and hit that bell on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Podcasts, SoundCloud, wherever you want to listen to us.
Where is the porcelain doll? Did he shatter? Someone gluing him back together at the moment?
He's on vacation. Yeah.
Oh,
he's on vacation in LA or something. He's visiting Brooks. He's visiting Brooks. Brooks works for Nickelodeon out there in LA, so he's visiting his cousin. He's the brains of the family. But before we get our main topic, Mike created a little tier ranking game for us to play. And not really a game, but
we're going to say you like that word game.
Yeah, we're going to rank our favorite IPs, our favorite intellectual properties or franchises, whatever you want to call it. But before that, we got some news to talk about today. First thing up is a movie I don't care about. I haven't seen.
Neither do I.
Scary Movie 6. I
remember seen any of these.
I think I've seen the first one. I think everyone's kind of seen that first one. But
I saw the first one. That's it.
Yeah.
The Waynes announced they're doing another because the world was clamoring for more.
There you have it. Any next thing?
Yeah, sure. The Waynes brothers.
This was a big one.
My daughters asked me about this tonight. They're like, "What did Trump say about Puerto Rico?" Because all my friends are talking about it, and I was like, "That is part of the story. You only got part of that story."
So, Kill Tony is a very popular. Would you call it a show? I mean, I guess it's a podcast.
And so Tony is the host of that show.
Yeah, and it's a dais of real comedians that roast like amateur comedians.
Yeah, so if you go to Kill Tony and you feel like you are funny, you can throw your name in a hat. They pull them up randomly, and you get a minute to come up on stage in front of the crowd and do your minute of stand-up, and then the comedians just destroy you. And Tony is a roast comedian. He's about as good as it gets. He's mean and insulting and biting. And then anyone who's really good gets to stay with the show. So there's a stable of, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 comedians that have done very well on that show and now are actually comedians and will come on and do a couple minutes in between the people from the crowd, or to like warm up the crowd before they bring up the people from the crowd. And sometimes people from the crowd are amazing. Sometimes they're terrible, which is equally as amazing. It's so funny. They did the Garden 2 nights in a row, sold it out.
Oh, wow.
Like sell out the actual Garden. Like Jelly Roll came and opened the national anthem for them in New York, New York. Like it's a wild crowd, and people know all the characters of the show, like the people who've made it and not made it over time, and they become like characters in its own little ecosystem of a show if you like it. But Tony comes from that.
Shane Gillis does Trump on there, and he's absolutely hysterical.
Ooh, they have him, and they have
what's his does Biden?
It's Adam. Another comedian. I can't remember his name. He does Biden. And he does Dr. Phil sometimes.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, and Dr. Phil they're great, and like they they did Trump and Biden at the Garden.
Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah. So Tony is a very built the show from nothing. He is if anyone saw the Tom Brady roast, he kind of came up at the very end of the Tom Brady roast, absolutely wrecked, and then just was off. And apparently he wrote a lot of the stuff for that because he's that kind of comedian. Well, anyway, he did a couple minutes of stand up at this giant Trump rally in the Garden, and he made some. The problem is I have no problem with these. They're jokes. They're jokes. Yeah. They're jokes, but people did not react kindly to them.
Well, it was one specific joke. It was one joke in particular that they're making a big stink about.
I don't even think that was the worst joke. Like the most offensive joke.
No, I don't think so either. But it's the one they're clinging to.
Yeah,
there's a giant island of garbage floating in the harbor or something.
Yeah, you guys might know it as Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And
I thought the jokes about like carving watermelons for Halloween with black guys was way worse. Or there's a lot of sexual jokes that I thought a very conservative audience wouldn't love. Right? Yeah. Like I had to go watch it once I heard like all the controversy about it. I was like, oh, let me watch this. And I'm like, oh, it's just I like there's some comedians I listen to that say way worse things.
Yeah.
I mean,
our chat is way worse.
When I met a Heisman Trophy winner the other day, it was way worse. Yeah. Holy cow! But yeah, it's a big deal. Like all of the talking heads are on about it.
Yeah.
What? I got the comment here.
No, BX got up said that comedy's dead these days. Too many woke, sensitive individuals. I actually think comedy's in a bit of a renaissance at the moment. I do think it's a miscalculation for a guy like Tony Hinchcliffe to go to that crowd and do that kind of I think if he did that in a club, and apparently he makes that joke all the time. If you listen to Rogan today, Rogan said he's been doing that joke for his set in his club, and he's telling him, dude, you're gonna get punched one day for that joke.
He said that's the joke that's gonna get you stabbed.
Yeah, which is whatever. And I agree with him. Like that's not the right event. Like why Mick don't ball? I get he's trying to support Trump, whatever he's doing. That's his own thing. But Jesus, people reacted so wildly to that.
I was surprised to see him in particular at a Trump rally. I wouldn't think he was a Trump rally person.
Again, he might be doing it just to like the meta joke of it. You know what I mean? Of being at you know what I mean? I don't know what his actual politics are, but the meta rally, the meta narrative of like, it's a joke that I'm there at this rally. Like, because MSNBC, when I was looking into like what the thing was, I saw that they were calling this Trump's Nazi rally and putting up pictures of like 1939 MSG with like actual Nazis. And I'm like, wow, we might have crossed a line here at some point. Like, so if you're a comedian, maybe you're just doing it just to like, he's that kind of guy who just needles somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
I want to say like Trump's like son was like, oh, Kill Tony's really funny. We should have him at the thing. He's popular. And that's how it kind of happened. Yeah, because Trump was a wild. This guy is.
No, it was a wild bunch. Like Hulk Hogan was there, and like I didn't watch it, but then when I'm looking, like you see this come up because I follow a lot of comedy, and like the list of people he had there at this like wild rally, it's just crazy. The cadre of people he has around him. But I just put it on there because I didn't find it offensive.
No, a lot of people.
I don't care. Jokes are jokes.
Yeah.
And even a joke that doesn't land, if it's still told with the intention of being a joke, I'm like, okay, it's a joke.
Yeah. I was surprised that John Leguizamo was criticizing it. Like, you're a comedian, you should know.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Not
an actor now more than.
Kamala Harris had Eminem introduce her at her rally. Like, he has some really horrifying lyrics in his songs, and no one's saying a word about that. Like, it's just politics. It's just,
and none of that bothers me. Politics. Like his lyrics again don't bother me even a little bit.
No, of course, yeah, right. That's the whole point of America, free speech, right?
Yeah, I think people are way too sensitive, and that's the only reason I put on that. I didn't know if I was out of touch with that, and you boys were like, yeah, Mike, you are a wild racist. All right,
I don't know. I think both parties are desperate for something to cling on to and throw out as look what they're doing kind of thing. So
it's kind of everyone says this was a coin toss.
Yeah, I mean it's a week before. You put Venom Last Dance on here. Did you have?
Because unfortunately this Last Dance had made no money.
Really?
Well, what do we have here? It made $50 million in the domestic market. Which you're like, oh, that's all right. But when you compare it to the first two, first one made 97 when it opened, and then the second one made 104 when it opened. So it's half of what the original two made.
The budget was 110 million, so you double that for marketing. So you got it has to make 220 million to break even.
Yeah.
Oh no, that
And
was
that's not
Venom
even the way it
178.
works. That's
That
not
was
even the way it
Venom.
works because you don't get 100% of the door, right? Like a
Right,
movie
but
theater
that
takes the percentage of the door. Yeah.
that's what they say. They say,
Yeah.
you know, on average that you double the budget, and that's what they have to make in order to.
It got kind of okay reviews.
Mhm.
I just don't think. I think the comic book movie is done. I just think it's done. I could be wrong, but I think you're gonna get some occasional like the Wolverine, Deadpool, but I just kind of think it's over, and I think it's
I
time to move on.
how many Venom movies can you do without Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
before people lose
Apparently,
interest?
apparently two.
Apparently two, right?
we have
Apparently
the
two. You know,
like.
like
I have no desire to go see this. I'll see it when it comes on. But I say I'll see it when it comes on whatever on demand. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Yeah.
neither have I. I haven't seen the second one either, and I like the first one. First one was all right.
It was fine. It was far
fine.
from good. Yeah.
But it
I
the
couldn't
only
tell
reason
you
he's
what it was
interesting-
about if you asked me.
No, they wanted to use him for warfare. I think they wanted to use the symbiote for against, you know, as a weapon. I think, if I remember
But you
correctly.
asking me because you could have told me he tap danced. I would have been like, "Yep, he did."
I kind of think that I'm seeing this trend of newer villains being used in these movies, and I don't think that the newer villains are ever going to catch on. Like the villain in Venom 3 is Null, which is a
Yeah.
made-up character in the past decade. Like me
Which
and
apparently
Joe.
he's a really good villain in the modern comics.
Yeah,
like
he
one
was
of the few
okay.
good things Marvel has done in a while.
Yeah, he was all right. Joe and I used to do a podcast called the Comic Book Corner, and we did Donny Cates. Donny Cates invented, or I guess he invented Null, and there was a big like overarching series that dealt with Null and the Avengers and all this other stuff, and it was fine. It was cool. The run of just Venom was really, really good. Me and Joe really enjoyed that run of Venom with Null, the introduction of him. But I just don't think he's going to catch on because, you know, older people that aren't reading comic books or staying up to date with comic books don't know who this person is. They're not really interested in that person. They want to see the villains they know. So that leads me into the Daredevil trailer. Right. So you put on here that Disney dropped a mashup trailer, and one of those trailers happened to be Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. It was like a 2-minute mashup of 5 or 6 shows that are coming, and there was a couple seconds really of Daredevil in there.
Well, I went and searched out Daredevil Born Again has a 2-minute trailer by itself.
Does it?
Yeah, it's got a full 2-minute trailer for Born
that
Again.
I did not see.
And
Yeah,
I gotta say,
like Comic-Con, didn't they?
yeah, I think so. And it looks pretty good, except they're using a villain that was in a very recent comic. And when I say recent, I want to say in the past 6-7 years. Again, when we were doing Comic Book Corner, this character was introduced, and he was an okay character. I can't remember his name. I saw the face and I saw the mask that he wore, and I was like, oh, I remember that dude from the comics.
The tiger guy?
No, he's not a tiger guy. There was a tiger emblem, and that's, I guess I think there's multiple villains in this.
Yeah, it's White Tiger, I think.
No, White Tiger that's an established character. But there's another one. There's another character. I want to say his name is Echo. Well, Muse. His name is Muse. And it was a decent comic run, but it wasn't a great comic run, but no one's gonna know who that is. People are gonna watch that show for Kingpin. People are gonna watch that show for Elektra. People are gonna watch that show for who are the ninjas that he fights? I want to say Ra's al Ghul, but I know that's DC.
You know,
the hand, right? That's who people are gonna watch. Daredevil. Bullseye, yeah, Bullseye, of course. Like, they're not gonna watch it from Muse. But the show looks really good, though. I gotta say, the trailer, like, I want to watch it. I definitely want to watch it. I can't wait till it gets on Superbox. Did you get yourself Superbox, Mike?
No. Where do you guys see an official trailer? I don't see an official trailer.
Oh, I watched it on YouTube today. Like, right before we got on, I watched it.
Okay.
You're allowed to play that, right, Mike? Steve?
I am, but I don't. You want me to play it?
It's gonna wreck the stream. Yeah.
It's called Daredevil Born Again, the trailer from Screen Culture. Name of the channel, Screen Culture. Looks pretty good. He opens the closet and he has like 5 different colored Daredevil helmets.
He has a black one, yellow, and red.
Yeah.
Screen Culture is all fake trailers.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Screen Culture only makes concept trailers.
But these scenes weren't scenes from the previous shows.
No, Mikey, there is someone leaked a Comic-Con trailer. It's all new material.
Okay.
It might have been taken down because it was a leaked footage.
Okay.
I mean, all of this, it was Kingpin and it wasn't Kingpin from the other things.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. This is the official trailer, Screen Culture concept. Oh, it is a concept. Look at me. I am fake news.
Yeah, because I looked. Like, there is... Listen, overall, even looking at the Disney Plus, like, what's coming soon trailer where this was mixed in, it looks good. But I've been burned by Disney so much that I hope it's good. Daredevil's the best thing Marvel's done on television. I think bar none. I don't think anything's even close.
Nope.
I think those 3 Netflix series are good to great, and the one I really like the season with the Punisher. I don't know if they can recapture that on Disney Plus. I just don't know if they can.
Yeah. The Punisher was in this concept trailer. Looked pretty cool.
Yeah. He's in the teaser.
How do they make these? Like, is the Muse guy in the trailer with the?
So they might have cut the stuff out of the Disney Plus trailer. They cut it out of a million different places, and I assume AI now makes it much easier for them to do.
Yeah. Damn. Because if that's what it's like, I'm into it. But
because the official stuff is all. It starts with Deadpool, because they're announcing Deadpool coming to Disney Plus.
Oh,
and it's all him narrating how I'm Marvel Jesus, blah blah blah, and then it's all intercutting the Marvel shows that are coming up, which are Born Again, which I would like to watch, which is coming out. I think that's the first thing coming out, March 4th, which is a long way off. Like, there's nothing. Disney has nothing coming out this Christmas for. I mean, I guess Agatha all along.
A Skeleton Crew's coming out soon.
Oh, but I mean Marvel.
Oh,
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, they do have that. Yeah, I guess they do have that. They had Ironheart coming June 24th. Anyone care at all? At all? Any chance anyone watches that?
Nope.
No.
They had your Friendly Neighborhoods.
I don't think that gets released. Ironheart.
It's got a date now, June 24th.
She's going to be 40 by the time that comes out, I think.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Is that a
cartoon?
Which
is a cartoon. It looks like young Spider-Man, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's like year 1 Spider-Man in high school. Animated. It kind of looks like the animation is like almost an homage to the Super Friends animation. Steve, if you remember that show from the 60s.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Like a cleaner, crisper version of that.
I actually think the animation style looked very cool. Yeah. What worried me was like some scene where he fights somebody, hits him with a brick, and then immediately cuts to like a perfectly racially diverse cast of Spider-Man's friends, and I was like, oh no. Like when you're pushing that first, I'm like, oh, you didn't care about story.
No.
Yeah.
I was like in Lord of the Rings. Every race of people was the same race of people.
Yeah, just mixed. No racial. Like, how did this happen?
All the elves had the same demographics as the hobbits, and the same demographics as the Numenorians, and that was funny.
Eyes of Wakanda on August 6th. A Wakanda show without Black Panther, sure, I guess.
Is that a live action or is that a cartoon?
No, it's live action. I guess that's for somebody.
I didn't hear about
that. Marvel Zombies, which is a spin-off from the original What Ifs.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a big
whole
comic
episode.
run. That was a big
Yeah.
comic run. They did a lot of those.
Did you watch the What Ifs?
Yeah.
I did. I watched
Because
some of
that's
them.
on there too. You're getting season 3 of the What Ifs.
That animation I really liked.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
And then Wonder Man is coming out next December.
Animated or live action?
Live action. And I thought that was going to be Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man. That's who they picked to be Wonder Man. It's a guy I don't know who he is. Yeah. I don't really care about Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Like none of that. To me, that's a very sad lineup except Daredevil. And Daredevil could be terrible. Like I would you have to assume with Disney most stuff's terrible rather than good now. You just that's got a way you got to go into it. You can't go in expecting it to be good because you're gonna be disappointed. You got to go in expecting it to be bad. Be like, ooh, it wasn't dog shit.
They totally scrapped what they had. They had like a couple of months filmed, and they scrapped everything because it was so bad.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redid everything again.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make you feel very confident.
Well, I think they scrapped it early enough to I think like the writers were like comedians for the first draft of that show, and they were like, no, we gotta rethink this. This is gonna be
well, judging by his like a little bit of an inclusion in She-Hulk,
yeah,
when he like does the walk of shame with his boots, I'm like, really?
Terrible.
It's fucking Daredevil.
Right.
He's terrifying Daredevil. That's his whole gimmick, right? Like he's supposed to be terrifying.
Yeah.
Stalking out of the night, beating people senseless. Like that's his thing.
But it made sense for her, that show, because like she kind of speaks in the she breaks the fourth wall as well, doesn't she, in the comics?
Yes. And she does in the show. I don't know if you watch the show.
Well, she does in the show as well, but in the comics she did that.
Yeah, but you don't have to put him in that. Don't put him in there. Don't ruin your best character.
Yeah.
And I think she's done. I think they're trying to recast Daredevil, She-Hulk for whatever the Russos are planning for. What are they doing? Doomsday and I don't know. What are they calling the other one? The two Avengers movies they're doing.
Secret Wars?
Is it Secret War, Doomsday War? Apparently, they're saying this is going to be on par with Endgame in their heads. And I was like, good luck with that, boys.
Yeah. With what characters that are interesting?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know.
Besides Robert Downey Jr.
I know. I saw that big thing. That was like, we want to get Pepper Potts back. We want to get Gwyneth Paltrow back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll definitely go. We'll see it. Who cares? Like, you're going to bring back Rescue that was in 5 minutes of one of the movies? Come on.
Yeah. Speaking of who cares, anybody care about Jumanji 3?
Who cares? No. When I saw it was 3, I genuinely said, was there a second one? Were they just skipping the second one?
The Rock was in the second one, right?
I think The Rock's in all 3 of them.
I think he's in all 3 of them. Him and Jack Black, I think, are in all 3 of them.
He plays the Rundown in all of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that character's name is. Rundown.
Or Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Jumanji 1 is not with Robin Williams is not referenced as Jumanji 1 anymore.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow. I thought okay.
That's what I mean. I didn't know there was 2 of them.
How much I've watched the other ones.
Yeah. That's another who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seb, but they're both called Jumanji.
Wow.
And there was a Jumanji 2.
Jumanji
That's
Next
number
Level?
2.
What's this one? Oh no, there's names on them. Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. That's the first one with The Rock.
Oh, I had no idea.
And then the second one's called
Next
Jumanji Next Level. Because it's a video game. That's why it's called Next Level. Yeah. But the original one is just called Jumanji.
And this one is what? Jumanji?
Jumanji? Question mark?
The 3 is just a question mark.
Yeah.
Did we make 3 of these?
Yeah. It does. I don't
Kevin
think
Hart in it?
They're all the whole cast, I guess. Jack Black again and Whoever else was in those films, I don't remember. I know I watched one of them. It could have been the second one, could have been the first one. Might have been both. Can't really remember.
It's coming out December 26th. December 2026. So it might not have a working title yet. It's just Jumanji 3 right now.
December 2026.
Yeah.
A full over 2 years away.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
I'm guessing it might have been pushed back with Kevin Hart in the news lately.
Oh, yeah.
What did he do?
He may be involved in the Diddy.
He got diddied?
He was diddying?
Like, he went to a lot of those Diddy parties.
Oh, he was doing the diddying.
So,
he
might be involved. So,
you think Jack Ryan would have found him if he was at one of those Diddy parties? Did you guys watch Jack Ryan with?
I said that you did, right?
I watched the first season. Yeah,
I watched both seasons. I liked it a lot. I like both of them a lot.
I think there's 4 seasons.
No, is there?
Yeah, I think there is.
I like that character, but I like the Harrison Ford version of that character.
Steve watched the first season and the Screen Culture second season, and now he's completely confused. I think there's 4 seasons, buddy.
All right, you say so.
Is there?
Let me see.
I think he's good as Jack Ryan.
4 seasons, correct.
I did enjoy that first season, but
I've definitely watched them all. I know I've watched them all.
Okay.
There's definitely.
You thought it was one big season.
No, I thought there was 2 because I remember 2 distinct storylines. I don't remember the other 2 storylines at all. But I remember I liked it. I remember liking it, and then couldn't wait to watch the next episode. It wasn't exactly a Reacher. I liked Reacher a little bit more. That has 2 seasons. But I like Jack Ryan. He's pretty good.
I think he's fine. John Krasinski's good as him. He's a good actor.
I think he pulls off the nerdy portion of that character better than he pulls off the action part of that character. Like, I don't buy him as a Marine in the field. I buy him as, because the job he's known for in the show is like being I don't want to say a spy, but he's like the IT guy. He works on the computer and catches people doing stuff, through IT and tech and stuff like that. That's where I buy him more. I don't buy him like with guns and in the field. And
I thought the first season they did a good job of that. Like, right, he gets pulled into it, and he's seen combat, but he doesn't want to be in combat anymore because of how it went the first time. Right? He was a combat veteran.
But yeah, he is a combat veteran, right? So he does have experience. So he should be able to fall into that role.
Where people were killed, I can't remember what it was that made him hesitant to go back in the field in that first season.
I don't recall. Yeah, I'm not sure. But he's gonna get his own film, huh? Okay.
I guess on Amazon with the Amazon and MGM, which I don't even know if it's Amazon MGM one company now. Could be. Sure.
No idea. I don't know. But that's cool though. I'll watch it on Amazon. I'm glad it's not in the theater. I'll watch it on Amazon. Speaking in the theater, Transformers 1 came out on DVD and Blu-ray. Make sure you get it. Get hold of that. Yep. I pre-ordered the special edition one for my son. He'll get that for Christmas.
Oh. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen's got a biopic coming out. Anybody?
Yeah, they're just starting production. It's the kid from
that wrestling
The
movie.
Bear. It's the kid from The Bear, and he was he kind of became famous in Shameless.
Yeah.
And he was
Jeremy Allen White.
With
he's a good actor.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah,
he's in the Von Erichs movie.
Yeah, that movie.
Have you seen that? The
I have.
Iron Claw.
Yeah, Iron Claw.
It was really good.
It's really good.
It was really good. He was Eric Von Erich, right? I think it was very good.
Yeah.
I know this is sacrilege where we're from. I'm not the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan.
Neither am I.
I like his stuff.
I'll watch the movie though. I like music movies.
I like music biopics a lot.
Yeah.
I really do. Plus the cast on this sounds insane. It's him and it's Jeremy Strong. Did you guys watch Succession?
Nope.
He was like the older brother in that show. He was excellent in it. He was so good. It has a really good cast. Uh, I guess early Springsteen would be fun. It's all about him making his Nebraska album, which I guess is one of his like definitive albums.
Okay.
I think I've only listened to his best ofs.
Well, let's see what's on
That's
Nebraska.
the one with the where he's with the American flag and the bandana sticking out of his pocket. That's
Right.
Mike's Bruce Springsteen. Give me Courtney Cox dancing in the crowd.
The inventor of the Carlton dance.
Let's see what's on that. Nebraska is the name of
yeah.
Atlantic City, which is a great song. Mansion on the Hill, Johnny 99, Highway Patrolman, State Trooper, Used Cars, Open All Night, My Father's House, Reason to Believe. I only know one song on there. I don't even think I know Nebraska.
Yeah, apparently that's like one of his iconic album, they call it. One of his iconic albums. Like, sure.
Okay.
So
you might know some of the songs, you just don't know the names of the actual song.
I thought that. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Our bodies hit the floor tonight. I put Phil Lesh, who was the bassist, founding bassist of the Dead, right? The Grateful Dead. Okay. And I have a buddy up here that's really big into the Dead. And I was like, that sucks, dude. He's like, hey, I seen the Dead live a ton of times and the Dead and Co. a bunch of times. And I was like, I don't know if I know any Dead songs. He's like, you do. You definitely know. And he's like, and he played me like their big three. And I'm like, nope, never heard. I've never even heard them. I've never. How is that possible? I know who the Grateful Dead are.
He played you their big three?
Yeah.
Commercial three or like big?
I don't. Sure. Why would I know?
I wouldn't have them either.
No, it was one about Gray.
Touch of Grey.
Yeah, Touch of Grey. He's like, this is their biggest hit. I'm like, never heard of it. Missed me completely. I couldn't tell you what the names were, Seb. He just played them, and I was like, nope. Are you a Dead fan?
Me? No, yeah. I know a few of their songs, but I'm not a Dead head.
I was shocked how much I didn't know any of their stuff, any of it.
Yeah, and I didn't really like the Dead. I don't like Fish.
I probably would have liked the Dead, right? I like Dave Matthews. I like jam bandy stuff. I don't know. I just never hit with the Dead ever. I don't know why.
I hate jam
bands. That was a little before our time, Mike.
Oh, definitely, right? Yeah.
And if we were our age and got into the Dead, you had to be smoking marijuana, and we didn't do that.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know all the Bruce Springsteen songs either.
That says it was his sixth album.
What? Nebraska?
Nebraska. Yeah.
Maybe it's the one that put him over the top in 82. I don't know.
Yeah. Last thing we have here is the Ray movie loses a writer.
Oh no, we may not get this now. Who cares? Who cares? It's unbelievable how much Disney has ruined so much shit I love, including Disney.
I've never been a big Star Wars fan, and then I kind of liked when they re-released everything and then put out the new episode 1, 2, and 3. Those were okay, and then after that, I've had no interest in anything Star Wars. It's just not my thing. It was never my thing. I was
a giant Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I know you are.
And now I hate it so much.
Toxic fandom right here, baby.
Yeah.
That's what inspired this name of that podcast. When they first did the 3 movies in that sequel trilogy, and they started saying the problem with these movies are the fans and they're toxic. I was like, are they? And then I saw them and I'm like, no, they're not. These movies are dreadful.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with us.
Sebby, you like the new stuff a bit more than I do.
No, I don't like the movies. The movies I do not like. They're terrible. Like, to show you how bad they are, like, my kid is a huge Star Wars fan. Loves the original, likes the prequels, loves Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff. He loves all of it. But the sequels, he will even say, those are terrible. And like, I've never said anything to him about that. Like, he doesn't listen to podcasts or anything like that to hear anybody else say it. He's just like, no, those are no good. I don't like those. I don't want to watch them. Those I pretend they don't exist. He's
Wow.
9.
Like I've
Wow.
never rewatched those. Never. I saw them all once and I was like, that's good enough for me. That's amazing to me that I've never rewatched those.
I mean, for years everybody wanted to see the 4 main characters, Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie together again, right? They stole that from like hardcore fans by killing off Han Solo in the first
You
one.
never saw them all on screen together ever once.
Yeah. And then you see Luke the last clip of the movie. Like,
did you ever get more than 2 of them on the screen at the same time?
You get him and
his sister.
Yeah, but it's not even really him. It's his force projection of himself from billions of miles away, you know?
Yeah.
And then she dies. Well, he dies in the movie, but then she died, so you'll never like.
They killed them all except Chewie. Yeah. They're all dead except Chewie. I don't even understand what they were doing there. I just can't. It just so fundamentally misunderstand your audience, your movies, what you have.
One thing that drove me crazy is like, okay, Anakin Skywalker is a Force ghost now, right? And Kylo Ren is trying to emulate his grandfather. Like, why wouldn't Anakin Skywalker just go and see Kylo Ren and be like, listen, you shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong.
Right. What's the matter with you? Man?
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why? What's stopping Anakin from doing that? It was just, it made no sense. It was so stupid.
They're like, hey, dumbass, that doesn't work out well for me.
Yeah.
Like, I got set on fire and electrocuted. Act like a man. What's wrong with you?
And lost a hand.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for the news today.
My bet is they never make that Rey movie. That's my bet. They never make it.
No, they're not going to make it.
If they come out with Iron
Kathleen Kennedy to finally get the boot, or
apparently she doesn't want to go until she leaves on a high note. She wants like a successful Star Wars thing to walk out on, or Indiana Jones thing to walk out on. Ooh, she may be there forever. She might be there forever.
She successfully ruined both those franchises.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't have a porcelain doll to play Matt's matches with. He never heard back from Isabel, though, sadly. So, yeah, I know. He never got
what happened?
She never responded to his last text that said, do you know this place I heard is pretty good? I guess that wasn't spicy enough for her. But we'll get another one. We'll get another one. So, let's move on to wasting time. Anybody got any good stories you want to talk about? Sebby, what you do this week?
Nothing really for me. I'm just going to work, nothing. I got nothing.
Wow.
Very boring going to work, being
Mike,
a dad.
You got something? You've had a bunch of really good stories.
Yeah, not recently. You know what I did do this weekend? I sat and I rewatched all 3 Lord of the Rings. The extended edition.
I tried doing that. I fall asleep every single
great
time.
weekend. What a great weekend.
I had a lot of like just general housework and schoolwork to do. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna put this on and they're so good. They're so good. Oh, they're so enjoyable. There's so many moments I love. Yeah, I watched the extended ones too. I forgot that Return of the King is like 3 hours, 50 minutes or something.
Oh yeah. I tried to do the Return of the King a few months ago because I liked the part with the mouth of Sauron.
Do you? Right? That's my least favorite part.
Oh, I thought that guy was creepy. So I
why is he Asian?
I saw it. Huh?
He has an Asian accent. I don't understand why. Why is he like Korean?
But every time I just fall asleep. It's too goddamn long.
Oh, dude, there's so many moments in those that I love. Like the action scenes are great, but that's not even the stuff I love the most. Jesus, in the very beginning of the movie, when Frodo says that, yells at Gandalf for being late, and he's like, Frodo Baggins, a wizard is never late or early. They arrive. Come on, it's so good, and all the little speeches in it. When Aragorn tells Théoden he's going to ride out with him one last time. There's so many little moments in that are so well done. The character development's so good. Like just music, and that's what they get wrong so much now. Like when I watch this one, you're at Bilbo's birthday, and Pip and Merry set off the firework, right? The dragon, you see them in there. They set it off in the tent. It's not in the ground. They're pushing it back. You immediately know everything you need to know about those characters. Yeah. That one scene that's a minute long sets those entire characters up. There's shows now where I'm like, I don't know who this character is, what they want, why they're doing it. Like they said, it's just so well done.
Did you watch any of the new show?
I watched about half the first season, and then the first three. I watched till Mount Doom exploded.
Yeah,
they poured water on a volcano and made Mordor, and I was like, all right, that's a bit of a stretch.
In like episode 5 or 6 of the second season, they're fighting for Eregion. There's this battle between orcs and elves, and they pan up to this group of elves that are in the fight on horseback, and they focus in on this one Asian girl who looks like Marie, right? Our friend Marie, tiny little skinny little Asian thing, and you think to yourself, why are they focusing on her? Like they spent an extra long amount of time on this one Asian elf, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to look out for her because she's going to probably be important in the future because they spent so much time on her, right? You don't see her for like another episode. And then all of a sudden, they need to shoot, like, it was like right out of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. They have to shoot a fire arrow into a powder keg, right? And she's got her bow drawn with her fire arrow and she's about to shoot. And what happens? Thunk. She gets hit with a big ass arrow, right? And then all of a sudden, thunk, she gets hit with another arrow. And she's still standing. What's this remind you of? What scene in Fellowship?
Boromir.
They tried to make, she gets hit with like 9, no joke, 9 arrows. Boom, 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 right? Like friggin' like Tommy gunned with arrows. And she's like this tiny little thing. And she musters up enough energy to get the bow, to get the arrow off, and she blows up the thing. But they wanted a Boromir moment. And it's like, I don't even know this person. I spent 3 hours with Boromir, seeing him lose his mind over a ring. And like they established him so well. I don't know this person. Like they zoomed in on her for a couple seconds, and now I'm supposed to care? Who gives a shit?
But that's the problem I have, that they don't understand. Like, you go from not liking Boromir to hating Boromir to genuinely being sad he died in one movie, right? Yeah. At the end, you were like, he was the greatest fucking guy, right? Like, they did that so well. And you, in a show that's hours and hours long on television, we have all the runway in the world to set it up. You can't do that, right? Why? Yeah. Why? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't deserve to have a TV show. You don't deserve to. It bothers the fuck out of me that they're tarnishing what is perhaps the greatest fantasy work ever written. It really bothers me.
Elrond made out with Galadriel, right? Did you know that?
Of course they did. Of course they did. Two of the most stoic, like, have their shit together characters.
He marries her kid. He marries her kid. Arwen's grandmother is Galadriel. And now he has made out with her in this show. So they made this meme. They made this meme. Do you remember in I don't know which, I think it might be Return to the King, where Arwen is being told by Elrond, you got to go to the havens, you got to get on the boat. Boat's fucking leaving. Got to get on that boat, right? Yeah. And she's like, you didn't tell me I had a son. Remember, the whole fight that they're having?
Yeah, because he can see the future. And he wants her to leave, but she wants to stay and be with Aragorn.
Right, but they're speaking in Elvish. So the meme is new closed captions, and it's like, I need to tell you something. I made out with your grandmother in the second age. It's like, it's so funny. It's so stupid and funny, but it's like the whole reason they did it was so like that he could like slip her like a lock pick, like so because she was captured by the orcs. She's like shackled, and he like gives her like like he has a pin that almost looks like the pin of the hand, like in Game of Thrones, and he takes it off and he's like sneaking it to her, and like he makes out with her to like draw the attention away from him giving her the pin, but there's like romantic music behind it. And I'm like, couldn't you think of anything else other than him making out with her? Like it appeared to be like they wanted it to be really romantic. But I don't know. Billy Judd, what's up, man? How you doing? Billy Judd's with us, everybody. We're just ranting about Rings of Power.
Yeah, I watched them again this weekend, and it's sad. They haven't. It's not having earned it. When you read about Tolkien writing the Lord of the Rings, he wrote them without an outline.
Did he?
He just wrote them. Just sat down like, they're ones. Well, I forget how it starts. Regarding hobbits, right? And just kind of wrote to the end, and multiple times wrote himself into a corner and was like, fuck it, and started again.
Wow.
Like that's like, so he earned those stories. And there's background and mythology and lore and histories to characters that are never in the book, but he just wrote them so the world felt complete. And then they're like, there'll be Asian elves and black dwarves. Don't you worry about it. Like, what? Why are you doing this?
I just don't understand why. Like, the thing that makes different species unique is that they're different.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
The thing that makes elves cool is that they are different than dwarves, and dwarves are different than hobbits, and hobbits are different than the men of the East. And in this show, everyone's the same. It would only last like if you had like let's make believe like real science is taking place. If you had a culture like that where everyone was diverse, within about 3 generations, nobody would be diverse. Everybody would be the same again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody would reproduce, and then you would just get one homogenous kind of species again. But that means everybody on the planet would be exactly the same. Oh, it's so silly. It's so silly. Billy Judd says, was Boromir dying in the book?
Yeah, he died in the book.
Yeah.
If you haven't, and I'm guessing by your picture you're younger, I don't know. If you haven't read The Lord of the Rings, they are 100% worth reading. Yeah. It's such a good book, and it's such a feeling of accomplishment. Like, I read them as a teenager, like, to get through those 3 epic novels. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And they're better than the movies. Can't get them right.
Oh, and as much as we love the movies and we think the movies are perfect, the books are even better.
Way better. Better. I mean, they took some liberties in the books, in the movies rather, that are just not and moved some dialogue from character to character and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I've noticed a lot of repurposed dialogue in the show.
Oh, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. Like, why would they say these things exactly verbatim 1,000 years prior to them saying them? And it's so silly.
I've noticed that, and by like different characters in different situations.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Like, there's that one line that Gandalf says to Frodo about killing Gollum, where Frodo's like, "Oh, my uncle should have just killed him," and he goes, "Killed him? It was that he spared him was the meaning of whatever." And they said that again in this show. And it's like, come on, is that where Gandalf got that line from Tom Bombadil 1,000 years earlier? Give me a break. But they just got it wrong. But
I wonder if they're going to keep doing that show. I really do wonder if they're going to keep doing that show.
They did it. They already have a contract for four seasons, I think. The guy is getting paid. The estate is getting paid for 4 seasons, regardless if they do 4 seasons or not.
Yeah, but how much bad money can you throw at something?
Oh. I don't know.
I guess a lot.
Billy says he only saw his death in the movies and Lego video game because Sean Bean portrayed him like a warrior. He sure did. And one of my favorite video games is the PlayStation 3's Lord of the Rings. There was just button mashers, man. It was just go find orcs and just hit B or triangle and circle until you're done with the whole board. It was one of those great games. BX Gunner says, any of you read Forgotten Realms? No, I don't do much reading. I don't do much reading. I do a lot of audiobooks. Yeah, reading's for nerds. Books are for nerds. That was one of Mike's favorite lines back in the day. But
I actually like to read.
Yeah, no, I would definitely read it, or I would listen to an audiobook for sure. I listen to The Lord of the Rings is actually the only books I have actually read. Like not the only ones, but I purposely picked those up. And
the other ones are magazines, and I don't know how much reading you're doing. Definitely looking at stuff.
The pages are all sticky. I can't even. They're all sticky. It's a mess. JCPenney catalogs haven't been the same. I like to watch Lord of the Rings at least once a year in full from beginning to end, and the Hobbit cartoon. I start with the Hobbit cartoon from the 70s, and then I move into the movies. So that's a good way to waste time. I'm glad Sebi's back. I was going to wait till you got back, Sebi. I finally have a good story that I think is a good story. So I got thrown out of my first girls softball tournament by an umpire. Now, growing up, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Who'd you make fun of, or would you call them?
Well, I'll tell you. So, my daughter is
called him a Yankee. People freaked out.
You are not far off, man. My daughter is 9 years
old. What are you,
old,
a liberal?
She plays on a.
People started racking shotguns.
She plays on a 10U softball travel team, and it's very serious. Like these travel teams for these very, very young kids are way too serious than they need to be. But we are on a great team with a great coach and a great bunch of families. And I really, really enjoy going to these tournaments because I get to hang out with these people. It's really the only time I get to see them. So I didn't paint last weekend, so I could go to this. It was the last tournament of the season, and it was called Halloween Havoc. So all the teams dress up in Halloween costumes, and they all have themes. So all the teams are all dressed up, and sometimes the parents dress up. This year we were Toy Story. Okay, so all the girls had different shirts of different toys. The coach was the three different coaches were the aliens. We set up we have a tent because these tournaments are all day. Like these tournaments you have to play from beginning to end in one day for softball. It's not like that for baseball because you don't have enough pitching. But for softball, you play the tournament all day. So we get there at 8 a.m. The first game's at 8:45. And depending on how well you do, you could stay till 7, 8 o'clock at night. Right. So we go undefeated and we go into the championship game. And it is 8:30. Right. We've been there since 8 a.m. and it is now 8:30 at night. We've been there 12 hours. Okay. Wow. We're the only team that's gone undefeated. So we have to be beat twice. Right now, the team that we are playing beat us in a pool game at the very beginning. So the first game of the day is a pool game. It doesn't count against your double elimination or anything. It just seeds you or ranks you in the bracket. So they beat us, and then now we're in different brackets, us and this other team. So we sweep our bracket, and they sweep their bracket, I guess, or maybe something happened. They lost one game, but it's like we're going on 13 hours at this place. Now, you haven't seen me down here. I wear a cowboy hat everywhere I go. Okay. I wear cowboy boots. I wear my Wranglers, and I wear a cowboy hat everywhere I go. In the springtime when it's hot, in the summertime when it's hot, I have a straw hat, a very expensive straw hat. And in the wintertime, I have my wool hats, right? My fur hats. So
I don't mean to cut you off.
Sure.
The first time you wore these hats, did you feel like a silly goose?
I still feel like a silly goose. Still do.
He's cosplaying the Marlboro Man. Leave him be.
I still feel like a silly goose, Seb.
Okay.
Yes, I still do.
I don't think I could do it. I would feel like the silliest goose of all time wearing a cowboy hat.
You're right, and I don't give a shit. I have gotten to the age to where I don't.
Just everybody sees.
Do you say reckon?
Not care. I don't say reckon. I don't say reckon.
I tell you what.
I do say y'all all the time, though. I will say y'all all the time.
Do you have wheat, like a big long piece of wheat hanging out of your mouth at all times? Like chewing on wheat? No?
At all. I have it in my pocket. No. But
Did you tell the umpire I'm your Huckleberry when he talked back to you?
almost. So
Continue.
the parents on my team see me like this all the time. Every tournament we go to, they see me and I have my cowboy hat on. I didn't wear it once, and everyone's like, "How come you're not wearing your cowboy hat?" I didn't even recognize you without your cowboy hat. It was that kind of thing, right? So, like, I go to the store, like I have them hung up in my garage. Like when I leave my house, the cowboy hat goes on,
I have
and
a
then when I get
question.
home, cowboy hat gets hung up. Yes.
Are other people as big a fan as the cowboy hat as you are down there, or are you the one guy?
A very small group of people wear cowboy hats down here. It's not a Southern thing. It's a Western thing. It's not a Southern thing. I wanted to move to Texas. It didn't work out. I moved to Tennessee. I've been wearing cowboy hats since I was like 10, but I wore them in very specific places at very specific times. But I've always wanted to wear a cowboy hat.
Halloween, the
No,
play
no.
at school. When I watched Tombstone.
When I went to my brother's house and had barbecues, and like I
You
always
wear a
wanted to
cowboy
wear
hat
one.
in Staten Island?
I didn't wear it out because I knew I'd get made fun of or beat up. So I didn't wear it out. But like if I went to my brother's for a barbecue, yes, I wore a cowboy hat. When I went on school trips with the school that I worked for in New York, we went to work on a farm. I wore my cowboy hat for 7 days. Like I had a Stetson when I lived in New York. I had like a legit real cowboy hat. So like it's been my dream to wear boots and cowboy hats, and I almost moved to Texas, and it would have been perfectly fine because
I thought everyone was wearing boots and cowboy hats down there.
everyone wears boots. Everybody has boots on.
Boots and a ball cap. It's that kind of Western.
Like a trucker hat.
This is a perfect hat for down here. It's mesh in the back, trucker cap with some type of patriotic thing on the front. That's very common down here. Cowboy hats, not so much. You go to country concerts, there's lots of cowboy hats, right? Girls and guys all wearing cowboy hats at the country shows. That's not a big deal. If you go to farmland, like I live, 40 minutes from the city, so it's still kind of like the city. But if you go like another 20 minutes south of me, it's just farms and cows and land. And there's some cowboy hats, not all of them, but there are some cowboy hats. But everybody wears boots, right? And I make sure that if I'm going to like the baseball game, something, I wear my shit kicker boots. I don't wear like nice, clean, pretty boots because then everyone's gonna know that, oh, he's only wearing nice, pretty boots. He doesn't actually do any work in his boots, right? I have like work boots, like work cowboy boots that I spray fences in and work in, so they're filthy and dirty, and I wear those so that people know that this isn't just, I'm not just doing this for today. This is my lifestyle down here, right? But this umpire didn't see it that
I'm
way.
the rootinest, tootinest cowboy there ever was. So you realize, right, at this point that the umpire must think you're dressed up as Woody.
Yes. Yes. So it is the 7th game of the night or 8th game of the night. I don't understand why they make these poor girls do this.
These little kids play 8 softball games in a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you? How is that fun for anyone?
I have no idea. They're kind of far away, so people drive an hour, 2 hours to these
get
tournaments.
a hotel, play it over the course of a weekend.
Yeah, but dude, if you do that every weekend, like they have tournaments every weekend, an hour and a half, 2 hours away in Alabama, in different.
I'm reasonably certain 8 baseball games in a row is torture.
Yeah, it's torture. It's way too much, and there are like big gaps. Like if you win your first 2 games, like you don't play for like 3 hours because you got to wait till other teams lose, and get eliminated. So we are exhausted. We've gone out for food twice at this point. We've come back, and we're playing this team that is, I want to say they were 15 years old, right? They shouldn't be more than 10. They look like they were 15 years old. They were like 5'3", like all the other, like my daughter's a tiny little thing, and all the girls on her team are tiny, and they're all the girls on my daughter's teams are 9, right? I would bet that most of these girls were probably already 11 on the other team. Like it's the end of the season, so they probably like aged out of the team, but it's like the last tournament of the year, so they, it all worked out. But this girl is throwing smoke. Like for a 10-year-old, this girl's throwing smoke. We're not going to touch this girl, right? So we lose the first game. And this umpire made a couple of questionable calls. And Billy Judd says, were you trying to be a better Woody than Tom Hanks? Now, I don't know if I'm that good, but I'm trying to pull it off. But the umpire made a couple of questionable calls. Me and Nicole had an argument in between games. So I'm not in a great mood. I'm tired. I'm hungry. The team lost its first game. Me and my wife kind of, on edge. And we lose the first game. Now the second game, you think we'd have to play a whole nother game. It's not. They have international rules. International rules are you start with 1 out and a runner on second. Okay, I guess that's how the major leagues does it too, right? They start with a man on second in extra innings.
They start with a man on second, yeah.
Yeah. So instead of us playing a game, we play this, this international rules where there's 1 out and a man on second, and both teams get to get up at bat. So we go back and forth 4 innings. They score a run, we get an out, we get 2 outs. And then the second inning, instead of starting on second with 1 out, you start on third with 2 outs, right? So the game is tied. We're the home team. There's a girl on third base, and there's a batter up. And so there's 2 out, man on third. There's a pass ball, right? Now I have this thing where the last out of any championship game, I get on top of the very top of the stands and I record it. And I can see the whole stands. And if we lose, whatever, if we win, everyone goes nuts, right? So I've done this 3 or 4 times at different tournaments. So it's 2 outs, man on third. I get to the top of the stands and I'm videotaping or recording on my phone the out. Pass ball. The batter leaves the batter's box. This is our team. The batter leaves the batter's box. The runner comes home. The catcher throws the ball to the pitcher. He calls the girl safe and then immediately calls her out and points at the batter and says the batter interfered with the catcher, right? There's no way, there's nothing else this batter could have done. She backed out of the batter's box. She went down to a knee so that she wouldn't interfere with anything. The catcher threw the ball. The ball was not, it didn't hit the batter. The ball went directly to the pitcher who was at home plate, calls her safe, and then immediately calls her out. All of our parents are going fucking ballistic, dude. They're going out of their minds. I say to the guy, I have not yet.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me, sir.
I say to the umpire, I have it on tape. Do you want to see it on tape? He looks at me and says,
you're a daisy if you do.
And says, good for you. And I was like, what do you mean good for me? Do you want to see it? I have it here. Do you want to see it? He's like, yeah, good for you. You got it on tape, cowboy. Way to go, cowboy. He keeps calling me cowboy, right? So I'm jawing back at him and I'm saying, that was a bullshit call. Everyone in here knows that was a bullshit call. He goes, oh, and he keeps calling me cowboy. He must have called me cowboy another 3 or 4 times.
Steve is spinning his coffee cup like Doc Holliday. He's speaking Latin and Vito Veritas.
Now, I've never, in all my life, I've seen people fight with umpires. My dad was one of them. My dad fought with a ton of umpires. I coached baseball. I've seen parents fight with umpires. I've never seen an umpire make fun of a parent. I've never seen this, right? And I'm trying to think of comebacks, but I'm trying not to be.
Say when. He's just tapping his gun on his belt.
I can't call him.
Sir, that's not even a real gun. Say when. I got 2 guns, 1 for each of you.
I can't call him a hillbilly or a redneck because I'm surrounded by hillbillies and rednecks.
And you're wearing a cowboy hat.
And I'm wearing a cowboy hat, so I can't break character. I can't break character, right? I got to stay in character. But my New York is dying to come out and yell at this guy, right? And I don't want to curse
just
at
done
him.
it. You should have just done it. Brought the guinea right the hell out.
Well, I don't want to curse at him because I don't want to make my kid feel like that, right? Like, you got to remember, down here it's the Bible Belt, and like these people are very Christian, and they don't like cussing. They don't like the cussing, right? So if I curse this guy out, Yeah, if I curse this guy out, oh, he wasn't a libtard, he was a hillbilly redneck. But if I curse this guy out, I'm gonna look like the jerk. I'm gonna be the one who's wrong and whatever. So I sit down on my chair and I say to him, why don't you give me your phone number and I'll text you the video and you can go home and watch how bad of a call that was. Right. And he goes, hit the road, cowboy. And I go, here comes. You ready? I go, why are you making fun of me? Why are you making this personal? I didn't once mention how ugly you were. And his face turns beet red because now everyone's laughing at him. My whole side is laughing at him. His whole, the other side of the other team, they're like, oh, right. And he goes, yeah. Right. And he fucking yelled at me and said, yeah. And I'm like, you kicking me out? He's like, that's right, cowboy. I'm kicking you out. And I walked away. And
you should have done the Vince Vaughn from Old School. It's like, I just like, let's make it official now. Let's make it official. And just like throw a chair. Let's make it official.
Kicking dirt at him as you going.
You should have turned your cowboy hat sideways and got into his face, spitting in his face.
And then the lady who's running the tournament comes over and she's trying to calm us down. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the classier person. I'm going to leave. He kicked me out. I'll leave or whatever. And I walk out and I'm sitting at my car watching the game. My daughter's pitching, right? So he calls her out. Now we have to go into the field and hold these kids down. And again, like I said, we had no right like beating these kids or anything. Like we would have won the game would have been over. We would have won the championship. And then I go out into the outfield. I'm sitting at the car and my poor daughter's just getting tanked. Like one after another, just these giant girls just getting up tanking balls off her. Right. She kept them at bay for 4 innings and she couldn't do it anymore. So we ended up losing. And then I noticed that I don't have my freaking pocket knife. I love this freaking pocket knife. It's like a $55 pocket knife. I've had it for 4 years and it's not in my pocket. And that's the worst part of this whole thing is I lost my pocket knife. But
that's the worst part.
Yeah, that was the worst part of it. But I got my last 2 cents in. I felt okay about it. I didn't curse at him. I didn't look like a complete loser or anything like that. I got him mad enough to kick me out. What?
If you're doing it, if you're gonna go in, yeah. I would have put that man in therapy.
Yeah, I know. Maybe if my kids were older.
Mike would have said, "Hold my pocket" or something like that.
Yeah, I would have put that man in therapy. And they would have needed a team of horses in your place to drag me the fuck out of there. There's no way I would have left.
Some of the best nights ever were me and Mike walking from like bar hopping in the city, and some poor bastard would say something to me or Joe, and then Mike would just rip them to shreds.
There's no way. There's no way.
Can't even say the stuff Mike used to say to these people.
Nope.
If my kid was maybe in their teens, maybe. I don't want to start cursing at this guy in front of 9-year-olds.
No, I get it, dude. I get it, but you did the right thing.
So I text my brother. I come home and I text my brother. I'm like, Mike, I got kicked out of my first softball tournament. He goes, oh, did you pull a Ralph? Right? Which is my dad. And my dad's I've watched my dad get kicked out of a lot of, I'll never forget.
I only used the N-word once. No, not a Ralph.
I'll never forget one little league game. I was 11 years old and I was playing Wanaka. The team name that I was playing against was Wanaka. It was a realtor, Wanaka Realty. And I'm playing Wanaka and the coach down there baseline gives me the take sign and he would rub the middle of his chest for the take sign. And I was, like I said, I was 11, first year on the team and I bunt, right? I thought I got the bunt sign. So I lay down a sweet little bunt and they make 4 errors. I get to third base, right? No harm, no foul, right? Well, this
you went to third base on a bunt?
Yeah, they threw the ball away to first. I went to second. There's little league, they're making errors all over the place. So I get to third base, and the coach is screaming at me that why'd I bunt? Why did I bunt? Right, this and that. Well, my dad didn't take too kindly to that. He starts friggin' screaming at this coach. It's like the first game. I'm stuck with this guy for 3 years. Like this guy, like he chose me in the draft, and I'm with him for 3 years. This is the first game. My dad's already screaming at him in the dugout, making me feel real awkward. But so I text my brother. I'm like, hey, I got tossed out of my first softball game. He said, did you pull a Ralph? I go, no, I didn't use the word pal. I didn't offer to fight him because this is all my dad did. My dad would have called him pal. he was like, "Yeah, you think you're a tough guy, pal? Let's go out and I'll show you who's a tough guy, pal." You know, he would have done all that
Well,
shit.
if you said that, he would have told you right away. Well, I'm not your pal, guy, and then you would have said, "I'm not your guy, friend," and he would have said, "I'm not your friend,
buddy."
If
But
you know, you know.
I wouldn't have offered to fight. This guy was pretty big. He was like 6'4", but just kick him in the knee with my boots, with my cowboy boots. I would have had him down. But yeah, that was my wasting time story. So I'll try to do better next time, Mike. I'll try to do better next time.
Yeah, you got to give that man psychological issues. Like,
but I did because, like, I stayed calm, and I think that's what pissed him off.
I am never a fan of starting a fight, but you definitely fucking end them.
Yeah,
that was a Joe Guida line. You better never start a fight, but I better never hear you didn't finish it. I was like, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You finish him. I would have.
I should have said, you look like a penis with a little hat on.
Yeah.
Not Major League. League of Their Own on them. League of Their Own. Oh, it's funny. All right. Well, tonight, Mike came up with this really cool little ranking thing, which is pretty popular these days for people to do.
I think they were popular. I don't know if anything we do is pretty relevant and cool anymore.
Yeah. Well, what he did, I got to close out.
You can put that in present mode, I think.
I can, huh?
I believe so. All the way down at the bottom.
All the way down at the bottom.
Bottom.
Present mode.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So down here, we have a couple of IPs that we like. I don't know what this one is.
From our childhood.
I think this one's Disney.
That's Disney, yeah.
Black square. Yeah.
Oh, is that Disney? Oh,
yeah,
that's sad.
Okay. So these are all childhood favorite franchises that we liked. Now, when you say 007, are you doing 007 the game, or are you doing 007?
Well, so my thing was looking at them kind of holistically. Now, how would you rate them as an overall franchise?
As an overall franchise.
Okay. Overall, so taking into account everything that's gone on from when you first saw, like, let's say the Ninja Turtles. Probably most of our first exposure was the animated cartoon in the 90s, right? Okay, now looking at everything that franchise has become, from games to, where would you rank it? Right? Because we'd obviously rank all of this shit high in the original, but now some of it's been. Do
you want to rank them how we thought of them originally, and then change it to what we think of them now?
If you want to do a 3-hour podcast tonight, I'm with you, partner.
All right. I'm not your pal, buddy.
Whatever you say, buckaroo.
All right, so let's see our tiers here. It says "fuck you, take all my money." That's the S tier. That'll do pig, A tier.
That's my favorite line ever from a movie.
What movie is that from?
Babe. That'll do.
I've never seen Babe.
That'll do.
Oh, really?
That's no, I've never seen Babe.
You would like it.
So
it's fine. B tier. Clown shoes for C tier. And we're all dumber for having heard that. May God have mercy on your soul. Which is Billy Madison. Is that Billy?
Yes,
Madison?
It is.
Nice. So
another one of my favorites.
I don't think anything on here is we're all dumber for having heard that, is it?
You're out of your fucking mind if you don't think some of this shit belongs there now.
All right, well, let's do those first then. Let's start.
Just grab them, go them in order.
Oh, okay. So 007. Yeah. The 007. Where are we putting that? I say it's fine.
I was gonna agree. What do you think, Seb?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if it was ever great. I think 007's always been fine. There's some good movies, some bad movies. I think fucking GoldenEye was the greatest game I ever played when I was 13.
Yeah. That was
I think if I was just ranking GoldenEye, it would have been "fuck you, take all my money."
Yeah. There was a time in college where I was like, I'm going to make a concerted effort to watch movies that need to be watched, because I didn't watch a lot of movies. I was always playing sports. I never really went to the movies that much for classic movies. I never watched a lot of classic movies. And there came a time where I was like, you know what? I got to watch the 007s. I'd never seen a Bond movie at that point. So I started with Sean Connery. Yeah, I was like maybe 20 by the time I saw my first 007
Did
movie.
you not play GoldenEye as a teenager?
Never played. I still have never played it.
Really?
Yeah.
On the Switch.
Yeah.
Dude, we played that so much that we had to tape off the screens.
Yeah.
So, because if you glanced at the screen, you knew the map so well, you knew exactly where the other person was.
Yeah. I
Wow.
remember going to my friend's house and they're like, "Oh, we're playing GoldenEye," and then one of them sits like directly under the TV, and then like on the
Cardboard.
floor, and then there was a piece of cardboard,
Yep.
and it sat on top of his head, and they taped it to the fucking TV, and the other guy sat behind them on the bed, and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" It's like, "Oh, so he can't cheat." I was like, "You guys have way too much time on your hands."
Dude,
But yeah,
I literally, I bet you I put hundreds of hours into that game.
Billy Jet says, "Why did they kill Daniel Craig's James Bond?" I guess maybe he didn't want to do it anymore. Maybe he was done being Bond. Who knows?
Yeah, but why kill him? Why kill Bond?
Yeah.
I don't.
Because you got to make a female Bond. How else are you going to make a female Bond while James Craig's still alive?
You could just change. Yeah, they killed him off in the last movie.
Spoiler.
Oops.
He has a daughter, then they kill him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like the Sean Connerys. After that, I didn't like it anymore. It wasn't as
good.
good.
What do you call Bonds are fine. I think one or two of the the GoldenEye era Pierce Brosnan ones are fine. Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
GoldenEye is good, and then after that, I hate that Pierce. With Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah,
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
They were so bad. The ones after GoldenEye with him, it was just every line. Stevie might have liked it, but every line was like a sexual innuendo. It was just like,
loved it. My favorite one.
So
but that's why I like Sean Connery so much. Like the whole movie.
He could play it off, and it was that in the '60s and stuff like that. Where those Pierce Brosnan ones were really corny.
Yeah. I think the
like
first
Brosnan and other things.
The first what do you call it's great. I think the first Daniel Craig one where they redid Casino Royale is great.
Yeah, that was good.
It's genuinely a good movie.
Yeah,
but I think overall it's fine.
All right, Batman. So now, like you said, we're going to take it into consideration everything that's been made up until today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say that'll do, Pig.
Yeah, I agree, and I would almost say that's fine. I would almost say B tier.
I would say it's higher than that because I'm still excited to see Batman stuff.
Yeah,
I'm still excited for Batman stuff.
Me too.
You know, like I think the Arkham games are great.
Yeah,
I just still love the animated series. I think that is the best.
The Penguin, I like the Penguin.
Penguin has been amazing.
Yeah,
the Penguin has been really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna put that in. That'll do big. That definitely was a fuck you take all my money at one point for sure.
Yeah, I thought that's what you guys would say. I would have been fine with that as well.
Yeah.
I think they've just done him so many times and they never get it right that I can't put it there anymore. I just don't think they get him right most of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
He's never really been the detective. He's never really been the man that has a million contingency plans. They've never really had.
In some of those movies, he is, Mike. In some of those animated movies,
do him. I think they do him great.
He's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking live action.
Oh, okay.
In live action, they've never gotten him really true to the essence of what the character is. Always has a plan. Smarter than everybody. Smartest man in the room. Indomitable will. Right, he'll never give up. Yeah, like there's what's the one where they go to Apocalypse and he outsmarts Darkseid in one of those comics, right? Yeah. That like there's some of those, and then he just bluffs him. He's like, "You can kill me." He's like, "But I'm going to take your whole planet from you," right? Like he's Batman. That Batman. The comics have done the animated cartoons have done a much better job, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. The movies are fantastic. Like the Batman versus the Justice League, when he has a contingency plan to kill every Justice League member.
And honestly, Steve, you should read that comic. Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
It's based on is way better.
Have you watched the Ninja Turtles Batman movie? Friggin' great.
Yeah,
that
good.
movie's awesome. Oh, it's so good. And that's what's keeping me up there at That'll Do Pig. I really like Sebby said, I'd be okay putting it in the fuck you take all my money tier.
Yeah, me too.
I actually want to. I actually want to
move. Vote me. That's fine. Go ahead. You voted for that.
Yeah, right. Those because like every time there's a new Batman animated, I'm watching it.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. All right.
I just I can't. I don't really like any of those movies. They're all fine. The live action movies.
Yeah.
I actually think like even the Christian Bale ones, Joker and Bane made those for me. Not 100%.
Him. 100%. And I haven't even seen the ones that don't have Michael Keaton in them. I haven't seen the Val Kilmer and George Clooney ones.
Oh, really?
Nope.
The Riddler one with Tommy Lee Jones?
Okay.
Nope. Haven't seen it.
I think Val Kilmer's the best Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, people say that.
Yeah. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones kind of ruins that movie, but
I can't stand Jim Carrey on the scenery in that movie.
I hate Jim Carrey. I can't stand him. I never liked him.
And they got a great song in that movie.
Which one? Seal? Yeah.
Oh, Kiss from a Rose.
I think U2's Love Me, Kill Me, Kiss Me. That's a great song too.
That's a good one. All right, next one I think is Michael Crichton. Is that Michael Crichton, Mike?
Yes, just because I know you're as big a fan as him as I am.
Fuck, you take all my money.
For his books, sure.
Yeah. Even the movies. I love Congo.
Oh, God, no. That's the one I would have really fought you on.
Love Congo.
The book is so much better, dude.
Don't you eat my pineapple cake. I love that movie.
Poppy seed cake. Stop eating my poppy seed cake.
Poppy seed cake.
Yeah,
I love it.
But
and then he's like, he spits it out in the fucking napkin.
That's what's his name?
You can see how dry it is.
Oh, what is his name? Is that Tim Curry?
Tim Curry, yeah.
Tim Curry. Yeah. My daughter is doing Clue for her play. Like her drama teacher quit this year, so she's actually putting the production on, like producing it, directing it for her school. So she's like, Dad, can we watch Clue? So we watch Clue. He absolutely steals that fucking movie.
Yeah,
he's he's such a brilliant comic actor. And that scene with the cake, you just like, he's such a brilliant comic actor, Tim Curry. Ooh, he's so good.
And the maid ain't bad either.
I just hate the gorillas in that movie. The like big, angry, mean gorillas.
Yeah.
Amy is whatever.
Ugly gorilla.
Yeah. The book. Did you read the book, Steve?
I did.
It's so much better.
Yeah, so much better. All his books are
what else besides Congo is
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park. Again, the Lost World, because I like Jurassic Park so much. I read the Lost World in one sitting. The book when it came out. I was probably 14 at the time. The movie is dog shit compared to the book.
Yeah.
I won't fight you putting it on the top. I think it belongs in the second tier. Because I just don't think they've ever adapted his stuff well. Although he did do ER.
The Andromeda Strain.
Great book.
Timeline. Horrible
Eaters
movie.
of the Dead. 13th Warrior. Great books.
Have you ever seen Timeline, the movie?
No.
Horrible. The worst movie ever made. No, that is with the guy from 300. The big
Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. The kid who died from Fast and the Furious.
Paul
Walker. And there's another star in there. And I'm like, and it's my favorite Michael Crichton book. It's absolutely 1000% my favorite Michael Crichton book. And I found out they had a movie. I'm like, they made a fucking movie? How come I don't know about this? Right. And it was like from 2013. And I read the book in like 2016. And I rented the movie and I went home and I was so excited to watch the movie. And it fucking sucked. I couldn't even get through it. It was so bad.
That's the problem. His adaptions are not good.
Yeah.
And even Jurassic Park. Do you know the story about Jurassic Park, how that was done as an adaptation?
No.
He met Spielberg at a party, and he told him the idea he had for Jurassic Park. And Spielberg's like, that's a great idea. Can I make a movie out of that? He's like, I haven't written the book yet. He's like, that doesn't matter. And they kind of discussed it. and he wrote the book simultaneously as he did the movie. That's why they're not the same.
Wow.
They just kind of did two. They both took the same like general framework of an idea and did a thing. And they're both very like the books.
They did an animated movie of the book of Jurassic Park, and compared the two. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I remember God, there's a scene in Lost World where the dinosaurs are like chameleons and can change color like a chameleon or a gecko. Oh, it was so scary when I was like 13 reading that. Oh, I love his books.
They use that in Jurassic World, don't they?
But that's years later. It's not in Lost World.
They adapt it later on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What else is here? The Great Train Robbery.
We're playing it that at A.
No. Put that. Where do you want to put it, Mike? That's fine, Pig.
I would say A.
A. Okay.
I think his books are outstanding. I think he's my favorite science fiction writer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. DC Comics.
Oh,
DC Comics. I'm putting it at Clown
Shoes. Dumber here for having heard that. I think they're terrible. I don't think what's been good.
Penguin.
Yeah. That's you gonna call that Batman or DC?
Yeah, I mean
DC. That's DC. The original Harley Quinn cartoon, not the animated series, the Harley Quinn cartoon on HBO was fucking hysterical.
How much of that did you watch?
The first 2 seasons I watched.
Okay, because it gets.
Yeah, I know. I stopped watching. Titans I liked. I liked Titans. What?
There's so much bad stuff, dude. The CW.
I like the first 2 seasons of Arrow, some of the best
TV.
Arrow,
and the first season of Flash, but then it goes downhill fast.
Yeah. The Justice League movie, that was kind of rough.
Aquaman. The Flash.
Shazam.
What's the C tier? What's that called? I can't. It's very
Clown Shoes.
Clown Shoes.
I would put it there.
Yeah, I will not argue that.
The thing that's making me go for we're all dumber for having heard that is what they're doing to the comics. They are destroying all the characters in the comics. Like every son of every superhero now, you know what I'm going to say. They all,
Oh, Seb, you walked away at you looked away at the worst time to see what he just did with his hands.
They wear cowboy hats? Is that what they're doing now?
No, they're not wearing cowboy hats.
No, their costumes are lighter in the loafers than their parents' costumes.
They got short shorts on and pink hair.
I Clown Shoes. Put it at C. Clown. That I say
C. Agreed. I think when you look at the quality of what the characters are, what should have been done with them by now is it's a fucking tragedy that they've been able to do it right.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is
Give
Disney.
Me a hard one. Disney. Mike, I'll let you lead off on this because you are like
I think it's fine.
I was going to say that as well, and only because
I think the highs are so high,
and
it would have been off. It would have been off this chart. It would have been higher than "Fuck You, Take All My Money."
Yes, it was "Fuck You, Take All My Money" for years. Look around my goddamn house.
Yeah.
Like it was at another level. Like Disney was another level.
Yeah,
better than all these things. So it was so up there that even though it's really shitty now, it's still only in that's fine. But it's a friggin' it's a hair away from Clown Shoes.
I can't argue that. I think it's fine. Yeah. You know, I think you have to work really hard to kill the goodwill of Robin.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it might be
Little Mermaid.
It might have to go to Clown Shoes, Mike.
No, I don't think so. Think about the
new Peter Pan, the new Peter Pan, the Little Mermaid. The new Snow White.
Yeah, but the original Snow White.
The new Buzz Lightyear.
I think they all cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's right in the middle.
And the old, so that we'll just leave it at fun. Like we're not even looking at the new stuff anymore.
They destroyed 2 of the biggest franchises in the world. They destroyed Star Wars, and they're in the middle of destroying Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They invented Pixar animation, which
I understand.
they invented the fucking theme park.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there.
Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy.
I know. Mike, I love it.
Goofy
I
How To.
absolutely.
Yeah. Goofy how-tos are amazing.
Those are so good.
I have them all. It's like one of the only DVDs I kept.
I still have it. I have it in a tin.
Metal tin,
case.
so do I.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much
I don't even have a DVD
worse
player.
how much worse does it have to get for you to put it in the C tier?
I don't know if it could.
Oh.
And that's just because of nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
They changed the parks.
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
I think the parks are rebounding, and I think the company overall will rebound. I think if you talk to the people that ran Disney in the late 70s, they would say the same thing we're saying now.
Yeah.
And they were able to get Michael Eisner in and Frank Wells, and they were able to bring in
You know what? Now you mentioned the parks, I might bring it down to Clown Shoes, because what they've done with the parks is horrendous. The first to planning out your trip 9 months in advance to now paying $150 plus your original ticket. Like, what are we doing here? This is insane.
And who we got there? Who they got running the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique? They got beards.
Yeah, I'll bring it down to Clown Shoes after to bringing the parks into it, Mikey. I'm sorry,
Mike. We're bringing it down to Clown Shoes.
Disney Cruise Line, I think, is the best cruise line in the entire world. Like I think overall they're in the. I won't argue with you, right? If you ask me what that company is right now, it's bottom tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you ask me what that like, is there a more iconic American brand? I don't know if there is.
Playboy.
I don't know if there is a more iconic. I don't know if there's a more iconic brand. Period.
Oh, that's not on his
in
list.
general, or just to Steve.
What?
Okay, never mind.
What?
He's a Playboy.
Oh,
You didn't hear him.
okay. No.
Anyway,
no, I won't fight you.
I say Clown Shoes, but Mike, if you feel strong enough for
no. If you two vote that, two beats one.
I say Clown Shoes too, Sebs.
All right.
Dragon Ball Z, I have no comment.
Me neither. That's all you, buddy.
That's all you, Seb.
I love it. It's so freaking good.
Take all my money. Good.
No, not take all my money. For me, it's That'll Do. Big.
All right. A tier.
All right.
Action,
Fantastic.
Story, lore, the
I
animation.
just can't. I hate fucking animation. I hate it. I hate the grimacing and over dramatic nonsense of anime.
No, but Dragon Ball, their animating is.
It's a lot of guys charging up and smashing into each other, big explosions and screaming.
It's amazing. I found Dragon Ball like when I was a kid, like spending my summers in France, and I found the French. They had the French dub there, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like I've never seen any. This is my first like exposure to anime, and I was like, "What this like?" Like I was coming back, like we were watching like when I found Dragon Ball, what was big here in the States, like
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
No, like Inspector Gadget and stuff like that.
Oh.
Like it was
okay.
Like the animation was just so like crisp, clear, and the fighting scenes. Yeah, I love it. And like they're starting to Toriyama died last year, right? The creator of Dragon Ball. And before he died, he finished another series called Dragon Ball Daima, and they're releasing episodes every week now on Netflix. And it's just another chapter in the Dragon Ball saga, which it's just so good. First 2 episodes came out on the last 2 weeks, and it's amazing. I love it, and it's in Japanese animation, Japanese dub, but I love it. I love it. It's so good.
Right. Fantastic Four. I don't have a much.
I had this here for Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say
I put it in the Clown Shoes, or it's fine.
The movies are bad.
The movies are bad.
All right, so Clown Shoes. I like the one with I like the one with Jessica Biel. Is it Jessica Biel? Jessica Alba.
Jessica
All right,
Alba.
if you want to put it there, that's fine.
Clown
I think
Shoes?
the comics are great. I think the movies are bad.
Yeah.
They
Any
didn't have
arguments
any
there?
video games.
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
And the cartoons aren't good.
No.
And I
Alright.
would guarantee the new one won't be any good. I would bet real hard money on it.
Maybe we can revisit it. But G.I. Joe. Movies are bad. Bad movies.
Movies are bad.
So bad.
There was games
say
too.
the word.
They were not very good.
I think it's Clown Shoes.
Ooh.
And I love G.I. Joe.
I don't have a dog in this fight, so.
Figures were great as a kid.
Great. But the show doesn't hold up.
Great as a kid.
This should have been an absolute home run to bring to the movies, and they have never been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
It is literally a squad of commandos fighting, killing people that don't matter to anyone. Right? You can just murder Cobra Troopers, and they've never been able to figure it out. It's a shame. I think it's fine or it's Clown Shoes. Either one. B or C tier for me.
I think the cartoon and the figures.
Figures are amazing. That's my childhood.
I held that in such high regard as a kid. So I'll
B
put
tier.
it at B.
Okay. Masters of the Universe. We're all dumber for having heard that.
Yeah, I agree. Joe would argue with you, but I think it's fucking dreadful now.
Yeah.
The movie's terrible.
Sebby, you hated it.
Kevin Smith
You hated the Kevin Smith stuff.
I hated
it. I hated it. I hated it.
I loved the cartoon when I was a kid. I introduced my son to it. He liked them when he was like at the same age like I was when I was watching, like 5, 6 years old. But like he lost interest in it. Figures were amazing, but the movies are really, really bad. Live action was complete dog shit. Yeah,
I think it's bottom tier.
Yeah.
That's a surprise. That's a surprise. Star Trek. I only like the original and the one
Clown Shoes.
Yeah, I would say Clown Shoes. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I never watched it, so I don't have a say in this.
I think the original show is groundbreaking for what it is. It's not good. Next Generation is genuinely a great show. Deep Space Nine is genuinely a great show. After that, half the movies are good, half the movies are bad, right? And everything they put out now is fucking unbelievably bad. Yeah. Unbelievably bad. Doesn't understand what Star Trek is, what it was meant to be. It's like they don't even know who fucking Gene Roddenberry was. Yeah. I would almost push it into the bottom tier if Next Generation wasn't such a good show.
Yeah, that was a really good show. I like that one. Lord of the Rings. Okay.
The Yankees are going into the bottom of the ninth, down 1. I'm just letting you know what's about to start.
Thank you. Lord of the Rings, I'm putting it at the top.
No.
Fuck you. Take all my
money. No, you can't.
I can.
You can't. The new show is so bad, and the Hobbit movies are not good.
It's at another level with Disney.
And where did we put Disney? Disney's in the C tier, you tard.
But Disney has fucked up more things than Lord of the Rings has fucked up.
No, I don't believe that.
Let's see. Lord of the Rings has the books, right? You love the book? Did you read
the
those?
Books? The 70s cartoons and the movies.
The Hobbit movies.
The Hobbit movies are not the worst thing, but they're
not the worst. Fine.
But they're not the worst. So that brings
they're B tier.
That's okay. But you're still, but the other stuff is so good that you're still in the A tier, the S tier.
And the new show is
god awful.
We're all dumber for having her.
Yes.
Yeah. New show's unbelievably bad. Embarrassing.
However, I say that'll do pig.
Have you seen the trailer for War of the Rohirrim?
I have.
And You know it's
And I
not
like-
good when they have to show you Gandalf riding a horse at the beginning and be like, "Look at the thing you loved." Don't think
I
about
like-
what you're going to watch.
If they didn't make it about the girl for no reason, I'm sure it would have been great. However, here's the thing. I think when people think of Rings of Power, it's almost separated from Lord of the Rings. Like, is it Lord of the Rings? Yes, but people don't clump it in with the rest of the stuff. It's almost like its own entity where people aren't even like, meh, whatever. That's not Lord of the Rings.
I think
that's
Rings
Rings of
as
Power.
good as you can go.
All right, so we'll put it in That'll Do Pig. How about that?
Yeah, A tier.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I think the movies are fuck you, take all my money.
Take it all for the rest of my life. Yeah. Okay. Super Mario Brothers. I really don't give a shit about Super Mario Brothers. So
A tier.
I don't.
A
tier. Okay.
Movie was good. Games were amazing.
Games are amazing. Some of them are fine. The movie's cute.
Terrible.
Yeah, movies are.
And the movie was dreadful. The live action movie.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that might need to bring it down to the B.
But the games are really good.
Yeah.
There's some bad games. You could do B. I wouldn't argue B. That movie and that cartoon are bad. Were they Brooklyn Plumbers with who was it?
Captain Lou Albano.
Captain Lou Albano. That's it. I couldn't think of who it was. That's Mario. I think B tier. You were right about that, Sam.
Yeah, that brings it down. And that freaking John Leguizamo movie is even worse.
Marvel. I'm going to put that in B tier as well.
I was going to say probably still in A.
It's been pretty bad, Mike.
When it was good, it was great.
Yeah.
That third phase of Marvel is unbelievably
good. Here's the thing, though, Mike. Like,
here's the thing.
The Netflix shows.
I think Marvel has done more damage to itself than Lord of the Rings has done damage to itself.
Yes, agreed. Will not argue.
And that's why I put it in B. It's not. It can't go in the same.
Games were good.
Yeah.
X-Men the animated series, X-Men 97.
Well, X-Men's its own thing.
No. Oh, it is its own thing. I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah, I won't argue that. I won't argue B tier.
To B then.
Right. Comics are great, like they were. Yeah. The early comics are great.
Yeah, it's been bad the past 4 or 5 years?
10 years? 5 years?
No, not 10.
When did Endgame come out? How far are we removed from Endgame?
5-6 years.
That was the last. That was it. That was a turning point. You can track the moment it happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was.
He's not alone. No, that was the moment, and I was like, "Oh no, what'd you do?" All the women. Oh no, that's the moment where you're like, "Oh, you've traded storytelling for messaging."
Right. All right. What about Nintendo? I've only owned an NES.
Oh, I wasn't. Like Nintendo's been adapted into stuff. You have. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I would say it's fine.
B tier.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Sebi. This is all Sebi's world.
The more I watch the Peanuts, the less I like it.
I will
Sebi's thing.
Keep it in B. I don't like a lot of the new stuff, but the classics.
There's new stuff?
Yeah, on Apple. Apple TV has new stuff.
Never watched it.
I like the movie that came out a few years ago. But it's all about the holiday classics. And I'll keep it at B for that.
Okay.
Did they get racial yet? I know there's one movie about
there's one show or movie or short with about Franklin.
Yeah, about Frank.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, so I can't comment on that.
Harry Potter. I mean, that's pretty like they haven't done anything to really ruin Harry Potter yet, have they?
Those second set of movies aren't great.
Well, like the
Fantastic
Harry Potter stuff.
Fantastic
Beasts. A tier.
I would say
A.
Yeah,
the
I agree with that.
amusement parks are
The
supposed to be
park
amazing.
stuff is so good. The park
books
stuff
are
is
amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
And I think it's because she's so protective of it. She's so protective of what she created. She won't let them mess it up.
Yeah.
That might be Take All My Money.
I think it should be
I
Take
wouldn't
All My
mind
Money.
that. I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, I personally don't
Plays
like
are
it that
good too,
much.
right? Did you see any of the plays, the Half Blood Prince or whatever?
We had the books in our house, but we haven't seen the play.
Okay.
The play was a 2-night affair, but COVID made it a 1-night affair, and we never went and saw it.
Got it.
So do you guys want to put it in the S tier? I don't necessarily like it as much as you guys, so I put it in the A tier.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Spider-Man. It's a tough one because the original cartoon, so Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was great. The movie, the cartoon
90s.
when we were kids, the 90s
Yeah.
cartoon, the Tobey Maguire movies are great. I love the Andrew Garfield movies, even though they get a lot of shit. I still like them.
The Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse I liked. I don't necessarily like Tom Holland all that much. Not him personally. I like his character's fine. I don't like the movies he's in. I think he's too dependent on Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for the Disney Spider-Mans, I think it would be Fuck You, Take All My Money. But
what about the Sony Spider-Verse?
I love the Sony Spider-Verse. I don't.
No, you don't.
I haven't. What do you mean?
Venom?
I love it. Oh, I don't count that as Spider-Man.
But that is Spider-Man. It's all directly from Spider-Man.
But he's not in it. He's not in the show. So if he's not in the show, I'm not counting it.
That is convenient.
Yes, it is convenient. Like I can't, like, then you would have to take into consideration all the Batman shows.
That's why I said I don't think it's Fuck You, Take All My Money anymore.
Oh. Well, if we're doing that, then we have to readjust.
Sorry, Steve.
I won't fight you, Steve. I won't fight you.
I was going to put it in A. Where do you want to put it? In B?
A's fine. A works for me. I think the movies are fine. I think the new movies are better than the Andrew Garfield one. I would argue that point with you.
Oh, I love the Andrew Garfield ones. They're
I
good,
think he's the best version of Spider-Man in the costume. He's quippy. Yeah. He's making the jokes.
He's got cool. He's got cool villains. The
way too good looking to be Spider-Man. He's way too cool as Peter Parker to be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's what Tobey Maguire got right. I mean, he's 38 in high school, but whatever.
And I don't think Tom Holland does either one of them as good as the other.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
And I hate the fact that his mask comes off every 5 seconds. I hate that.
That's just a Marvel thing now.
Oh, I think that's just a Hollywood thing now. But do you want to reevaluate Batman? I mean,
no. Okay. I think it's going to be our only A.
Because I feel bad. I feel bad that Lord of the Rings isn't up there. Like I feel like this is not right. But Star Wars, I'm going to say we're all dumber for having heard it. The prequels are not great.
I think it's Clown Shoes.
Okay. The games are a lot of good games.
A lot of bad games.
A lot of bad games.
Really
good cartoons. Some really good cartoons. Some really bad TV. A lot of bad movies. There's more bad movies now than there are good movies.
No.
Yeah, because the prequels are not really good. They've grown in value because of how bad the new stuff is. People are like, Jesus, we should revisit those.
But
you might be equal on that.
The movies got better because you had more like after you watch Clone Wars. Like if you watch Clone Wars and then watch the movies, they make them better. So like you knowing more makes it better. I don't think it's Clown Shoes.
It's definitely not B tier. Dude, there's some fucking bad Obi-Wan. Dude, that show sucks.
Acolyte.
First 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are great. Rebels is great.
First season of The Mandalorian, I'll agree with.
First season. You have 3 horrible movies. 3 gigantic.
Second season of Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker comes back and like destroys.
Yeah, they bring and they fucking ruin that by what they do with Grogu.
That's
bringing him right back.
3.
Yeah,
but that's season 3.
I'm gonna say.
Where do you want to put it? Where would you put it, Seb?
I think there's more good than bad.
I don't think there is. But where would you put it?
I'd put it at B.
I won't argue B. But I don't think there's more good than bad at this point. I just think the original three are so good. You're quickly dragging that down.
Jedi is not that great.
Dude, if you asked me at going into high school what Star Wars was, it'd take all my fucking money. It's take all my money.
Yeah.
That was 25 years ago.
I know. And if you told me they were making a Mandalorian show, my God. I love the Mandalorian. I love Boba Fett.
Let us not forget the Boba Fett.
I just thought about Boba Fett. Yeah, it's what they did to Boba Fett brings it down.
My favorite character ever in anything is fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah, clown shoes.
All right. Clown shoes it is. I think that's correct.
Animated movies, those animated shows were so good but what they did, the live action really brings
And here's the reality. The land is not great. The rides aren't good. That they made in Disney. The hotel fell apart.
Yeah, the hotel. The books are good.
The ride is spectacular, but it never works right, and half the effects don't work anymore at all, period.
Yeah.
It's too complicated. Like when you originally went on that ride, an AT-AT walked through a room and shot at you. That was amazing. Like I was on it within the first 6 months it opened. It was amazing. Half those effects don't work anymore. They run them in B mode now where they don't have to.
Bravo.
Okay, Superman. Ooh. Animations are good.
Yes.
Original comics,
I'm gonna
great.
say
All the comics are good.
Wow, what? Seb, really?
What's the last?
I was gonna say it's fine. I don't think they've egregiously ruined Superman at all. Were the Henry Cavill movies great? No, definitely not. But I don't think they were horrible. They weren't horrible.
Lois and Clark.
People say that's very good.
Yeah, Lois and Clark was good.
I haven't watched it, but people say it's very good.
That's the older one though. What's the new one? Superman and Lois?
I don't know. Yeah. I find him boring. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
there's a fundamental problem with Superman that they don't know how to deal with. He's Superman. Yeah. That's a fundamental problem. There's no stakes.
Right. Smallville was great. Smallville was great. Christopher Reeves is great.
Fine.
Yeah, I think
they're not great. They're not great. Go back and watch them. They're not great. They're not great. They were just what they were at their time. They're not great. There's some silly nonsense in those.
Yeah.
Those like the third one where he's fighting the computer game. Yeah.
There was some silly shit in Batman '89.
Yes, that's why. Again, I wasn't going to put that in the top tier.
I never seen those, so they're not even in my psyche.
What?
The Riddler ones and stuff like that, because those look stupid, and the bat nipples.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think Superman B tier is fine. I wouldn't go any higher.
No, I agree with you. Muppets, I the only thing I like is the Muppet Babies, and the Christmas. I like the Christmas Carol. That's a good one. They're fine to me. They're B tier.
The Muppet Show was good. The 70s one, the one in the 90s was good. Muppet Babies was good. Some of the movies are pretty funny.
I think it's either B or C.
I don't think anything's done to make it a C.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's done. The problem is, again, great idea, never been able to capitalize on it because I think Jim Henson's gone is the issue.
Yeah.
And I think they're yanking it out of the parks.
Did you see him on like Arsenio Hall as Ralph?
No.
The dog. Amazing.
Good.
So it's Jim Henson getting interviewed on the Arsenio Hall show, and Ralph's on his lap, and he's puppeteering Ralph, and like he's getting edgy with Ralph and on Arsenio Hall. It's so good. You should watch it. It's on YouTube. It's very funny, very edgy. Yeah, like once Jim Henson passed away, they kind of lost their way.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad. But
so where are you going to put it, Seb?
B.
Yeah, I won't
B?
argue that. I think it has such high potential. I don't think they've ever lived up to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Transformers. This new movie's really, really good.
Okay.
Good.
What about all the Michael Bay nonsense?
How many were there?
Way too
Five.
many.
5 or
3 or
6?
4.
3 or 4?
No, there's more than that.
Yeah,
There's
there's
way.
gotta
I
be
bet you
more.
there's. I bet you there's 6 of them.
I want to say there's 6 of them, including Bumblebee and the Beast Wars one.
Oh, okay.
I want to say
King
it's
Arthur
fine.
one. I would say it's clown shoes.
Really?
I think this
The
new one
figures
brought
were
it
great.
up that it's fine.
The figures
That's how
are
good
great.
this new one is. This new one's that good. The comics now are some of the best comics on the market right now. The new Transformers comics.
Yeah.
Phenomenal comics.
G1 was good.
Between the new comics and the new Transformers 1 movie, I think it deserves to be in the B. Without those two, I would say a C. Or even at the bottom.
The original movie?
Yeah, Transformers the movie, I love it. Even though everybody dies, I still love it.
Traumatized you as a child.
I
won't argue that.
You got a great song, though.
Love it. The Cybernetics.
You know how many days I had to drive my son to school blasting that song at full blast?
It's my ringtone. My ringtone is the G1 opening theme.
And then he would scream, "Yeah!" at the top of his.
What about Ninja Turtles? Where do we put Ninja Turtles?
Ninja Turtles was my
I think it's That'll Do Pig.
Either that or what?
Or I think it's
first animation was great. The first movie was amazing.
Great. The first movie was good. The Batman Ninja Turtle movie was good. The comics are
comics are great.
Yeah. Comics are great.
The early video games are fantastic.
The side scroller ones, yeah, those are great.
All of them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Back in Time. Those were both good games.
Some of the newer Nickelodeon stuff's not terrible.
No, I think it's A tier.
I would almost agree with you.
Yeah, the new Paramount is pretty good too.
All right.
Plus Ninja Turtles in concert back in
I saw them. I saw that. That was great.
I used to have it on tape and watch it over and over and over again. Wild.
Let's see how many of these things.
What the Ninja Turtles have done for the Italian community as well. They made a lot of Italian pizzeria owners very rich.
How many of these things have you gone as Halloween costumes as? I was Raphael once. I was Batman once. I was Optimus Prime once.
I was Batman, Charlie Brown. That was recent.
I think only one.
I was Skeletor. I was He-Man.
Superman once.
I was Superman.
I was just a G.I. Joe.
Okay.
I was a G.I. Joe.
You never did a Harry Potter thing with your girls, huh?
No.
Okay.
No, when they dressed up as Harry Potter, I wasn't dressing up. I was an adult.
Well, I dressed up as Superman so that my daughter could be Supergirl. Yeah. All right. What about X-Men?
I would have done Gimli. I would have dressed up as Gimli if I had a chance.
Yeah. Or Kingpin. You should be Kingpin. But where are we putting X-Men?
X-Men 97.
Some of the movies weren't great, but besides that, I don't think any.
Are we including like Wolverine?
Sure.
Yeah, you have to.
Comics are great. Early comics are great. The 97 show's very good.
X-Men Ultimate video game was great.
Very good. Good polls.
X-Men arcade was very good. Figures were great.
I might say A.
Yeah, I would.
When you think about the comics and the video games and that kind of stuff, the movies aren't good, but everything else is so good.
Days of Future Past was good.
Yeah.
Not compared to the Days of Future Past comic.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the animated series were really good. The
I
original.
wouldn't
and,
argue putting that in A.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Damn, Joe's gonna be really mad. Masters of the Universe.
It's
the only one.
terrible. I
Yeah.
hated that show. He defends it so much. I think it's terrible.
That Kevin Smith one really pissed me off. I remember staying. It was during COVID. I remember staying up to like 3 a.m. to watch that as soon as it fucking dropped, and I was like, I was so trying to like it. I was forcing my own, and then I was like, I can't. This is so bad. I stayed up till 3 for this.
He still defends it.
Yeah.
The show ends with the two girls having a big lesbian catfight and then just making up at the end. And I was like, what just happened? Where's He-Man? I'm like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Is there anything we need to rearrange there?
So how about the? I don't think. How about what would you rearrange? I don't. I think this is our definitive list. But what would you rearrange if you could?
I moved Disney up one and Batman down one.
Okay. I would put.
I might move Star Trek down.
Really? Okay.
God.
I don't have to say in Star Trek because I never cared for it, so I can't really judge. I've seen the newer movies, one of the first newer movies, but I don't really have much in that.
I would put Lord
Did
of
the
the
Dodgers
Rings
win?
Yeah.
Because Mike Hurst just popped in. Let's go Dodgers.
I would put Lord of the Rings up one, and I would put G.I. Joe down one.
I can't see how you think Lord of the Rings is that.
Because I'm still at the point. I'm still at a point where no matter what they make, I'll buy it. I'm still at that point. I haven't gone off that point yet.
You're gonna do 5 years of this show?
Am I gonna watch it? Yeah, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna go see War of the Rohirrim?
Superbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you maybe saying you go buy it is a bit of a stretch.
That's not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a 3-part book series.
No, get out of here. That's nonsense. It's like saying Disney's only Mickey Mouse. Get out of here.
I'm fine with the list, I think.
I might even put Muppets down one just because I don't give a shit. But I think G.I. Joe's got to go down. But that would be my only other thing. G.I. Joe. Because those movies are fucking bad.
Yeah, they didn't make one good one.
They only made 2. No, they made 3, right? They did Snake Eyes too.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Yeah, that might bring it down.
Yeah,
because I think Transformers has done more good stuff since the original than G.I. Joe.
No, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think either one has been as good as the original. Either one at any point have not.
I never said no. They're definitely not better than. No. That's not what I meant. I'm saying we all agree that original G.I. Joe and original Transformers is fuck you, take all my money.
Yeah, yes. Fuck you, take all my money, G.I. Joe. Yeah, it did take all my money as a kid.
Right. Yeah. From that point forward to today, Transformers has done more good stuff than G.I. Joe has done good stuff.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe's done nothing good.
Right.
That's why. Let's bring G.I. Joe down. I would bring G.I. Joe down.
Okay. I'm good with that list. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe Peanuts is a little high.
Oof. Now that I'm looking at it, like Star Wars is lower than Muppets.
I think Muppets has got to come down.
Yeah.
I don't think Muppets. I think the idea of Muppets is way better than what the Muppets actually are. And the Muppets are so unsuccessful; they can't make it work.
Fraggle Rock in that too, or
I guess you would, right?
What was that?
Fraggle Rock. Of course, that's a Muppets thing.
Yeah.
Like I love the Muppets, but I love the Muppets because of Muppet Babies when I was a kid.
Is Sesame Street the Muppets?
Yeah, Jim Henson.
The Muppets.
Yeah, I think it sold off out of it, but it's definitely Jim Henson originally.
I think 007 needs to move down now that I'm looking at it.
Move it down. I won't argue that. The game is what kept me up there. I love that game.
Yeah, you're right.
Sad.
Move that down. 007 needs to go down.
Okay.
Mike Hurst just put Fast and the Furious goes with Masters of the Universe. The only reason I didn't put Fast and the Furious on here is it's not something from our childhood.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah,
I would
100%.
disagree. I would disagree with that. I think they're getting better because they've absolutely bought into their own nonsense. Like, I love the fact that it makes no fucking sense anymore. And they're all superheroes and fucking Vin Diesel can get hit in the head with a wrench and just keep coming. I think that's great.
Did you see Mike Hurts' comment? He says,
No.
"Oh, good, I need to go to sleep." And you guys started talking about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, boo, Mike Hurst, boo.
Congrats, Mikey, on your Dodgers.
Is he from LA? LA. Is he from
Yeah,
LA?
he's from Cali.
California love. How about that Ice-T making an appearance? Was it Ice-T or Ice Cube? Which one of the
Oh
guys?
my God. Can we just talk about, since you brought that up, Fat Joe? Oh,
What's wrong with him?
God. So Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yeah.
Ice Cube. He performed in the game 1 in the World Series, right?
It was pretty
Sang one of
cool.
his songs
I'm
on
not
the
a big
field. It was great. It was very good. And then the New York replied with Fat Joe coming out. It was so bad and cringe. It was
What'd he do?
He was off key. Like he wasn't synced up with the music in the beginning, and it was just bad. It had no energy. He sucked the energy out of the stadium. It killed all the atmosphere at Yankee Stadium. It was so embarrassing.
They should have had Method Man.
Yeah.
People still like him.
Isn't the move Alicia Keys and do New York? Isn't that the move?
Yeah, but I think Diddy. I mean, Jay-Z is been kind of hiding with all the Diddy stuff. So they
wait, what?
She
was dealing with. She was involved with Diddy.
No, but Jay-Z is involved.
Yeah, but there's a version of that song without Jay-Z. That
yeah,
she
but I
does.
think they wanted a hip hop artist.
Well, yeah. Fat Joe gets a lot of what do you call it from me. Do any of you know Fat Joe's story with his kid?
No.
Fat Joe's kid, he has like a severely disabled son. And when the son was born, the wife was like, I can't do this, and fucking bounced.
Aww.
And he was like, no, I'm going to raise this kid, and has been like the dad of dads. That's why he lost all the weight and everything. Like he's been like the dad of dads to this really disabled son.
Oh, okay.
He's a good dude. Which to me
doesn't excuse his fucking terrible performance.
Oh yeah, well, all right, whatever. I don't want to argue that.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, that's the definitive list there, everybody. So,
Joe is going to be so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to maybe let's see if I can take a screenshot of this or something.
No, it saves. Just save.
Oh, it saves. Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, and then you can leave it, and other people can rank it, and then you can see how they do compared to you.
And there we go. I just saved it. Very good. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, so you can if you go on there, there's tier lists for everything. Everything. I made one originally for the Top Gear specials. I thought we'd do it for that, but we never got around to it.
Oh, that would be cool.
All the Top Gear specials, and then rank them just A to B tier. Because some of those are amazing, and some of them are unwatchable.
I would need a week or two to watch them all.
I've seen them all a million times.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to the boys for coming. Hopefully we get a porcelain doll or a angry Italian guy next week. And any ideas for next week? We'll think about that. If you want to give us ideas, please feel free to email us at toxicfandompodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out our Patreon. Okay, that'll be in the description below.
We got to do another show now?
No, we don't. Not yet. We don't have any patrons yet, but hopefully some of these cheapskates will sign up for and be a Patreon of ours. I'll send you some stickers. If you want a sticker, I'll even give you a free sticker. Just email me your address and I'll send you a sticker at toxicfandompodcast@gmail.com. and subscribe and hit that bell. Until next week, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.